even though I do like that product. I just am being very cutthroat in these top product videos. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. In today's video, I'm sharing my top favorite bronzers with you. There have been a lot of changes to this list since my last favorite bronzers video. Some products are being discontinued. We've had some new launches, so I thought I would give you my updated favorites. Half of this list is high-end, the other half is drugstore, and let's go ahead and get started with my top favorite bronzers. The first bronzer I want to share with you is kind of an unexpected top favorite for me, and I'll get into that here in a second. This is the Fenty Beauty Sun Stalker Powder Bronzer. I have the shade Private Island. There are 9 shades to choose from, and it's $30 for 0.22 ounces of product. Now, when I first got this to test out, I thought it was going to be very powdery and have a lot of kick up and deposit a lot of product in one spot and be kind of hard to blend out just because of how kind of matte and powdery it appears in the pan. But this is the exact opposite of what I thought it was going to be. This gives no kick up in the pan. I don't even have to tap my brush off. It deposits the perfect amount of product. It's easy to work with. It blends out beautifully. The shade that I have in particular is perfect for my light, medium, warm skin tone. It almost looks like it's going to be too orangey, but it gives the right amount of warmth to the skin. And I know for a lot of people, a super matte bronzer can be a little worrisome. You might think it's going to make you look powdery or dry. I find this just looks really natural on the skin. This was an easy, no-brainer product for me to put in this video. Now, if you're wanting a little bit of luminosity and glow to your bronzer, but without glitter or sparkle, and you're wanting to keep your costs down, the Flower Beauty Heatwave Luminous Bronzer is absolutely perfect. I'm showing that this is on sale right now as I'm filming this for $6 for 0.2 ounces of product. There are 2 shades. The shade that I have is Sunrise, and you can see it has this marbleized quality to it. Because this has both matte and luminous powders swirled together, it just gives this beautiful, natural, radiant look to the skin that's not over the top glowy, so you don't just have shine all over your face. It's a very natural, glowy, bronzed look. I like the shade that I have in particular. It's got a little bit of a cool tone to it, and I do like to have various shades of bronzers depending on what kind of mood I'm in. This is a very silky, easy to blend product. I mean, you're gonna see this theme throughout this whole entire video, and if you're looking for where to buy anything, I do have every product that I'm talking about linked in the description box down below, as well as what I'm wearing. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer Matte Bronzing Filter for the face and the body. There are 4 shades. I have the shade Medium, and this shade, warmth-wise, kind of falls in between the first 2 bronzers that I talked about in the video. And this is $55, but you get 0.56 ounces of product, which is quite a bit. You can also purchase refills for the compact once this runs out. You may notice something else with that swatch that I'll talk about here in a second, but shade-wise, I'm glad that I went with the shade Medium for my light medium skin tone. The next deeper shade was a little bit too deep for me, and I didn't want to have to worry about laying down too much product at once and having to buff it out. I do feel like this shade looks like it could be a little bit orangey, but I find that it just gives the right amount of warmth to my skin tone. Now, that swatch looked a little patchy. You can't always tell bronzers and blushes and highlighters what they're going to do on the face based on a swatch. The bronzer itself is not patchy at all. This is a silky smooth bronzer, just like her Airbrush Flawless Finishing Powder. It's that same formula. It's very silky, very, very smooth. It's easy to work with. It's buildable. It blends out easily. It lasts a long time on the skin, and because it is such a large size, it's great for the body too. And you get that bonus of that airbrush finish, which just looks really great on the skin, on the pores. This is a really beautiful formula. If you're looking for something super small and travel friendly, I mean, it's slim, but in comparison to the standard bronzer size, it is bigger. You get a lot more product too. You know, I have said in the past that I preferred my Marc Jacobs bronzer to this because I was able to get ready with it a little bit quicker because it was also easy to blend out and apply, and it deposited a little bit more color because it was kind of in between the darker shade of this and this shade. I do have to blend this a little bit longer, but I like both of them for their silky qualities and everything else I said about this product. I decided for this video that I'm not including any brands that are questionable or up in the air as far as possibly going out of business or discontinuing products, which includes Marc Jacobs and Becca. In the past, those have been two of my favorite bronzers. I'll link them down below, but I just wanted you guys to have a good reference until next year's video. So I'm not including those in this video because I don't know how long they're going to be around. So I'm going to move on to a bronzer that I think is a great dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer that I just talked about, and it's from Milani. This is the Silky Matte Bronzer, and I am in the shade Suntan. There were originally 4 shades of this, but I'm only seeing 3 shades at this moment in time. This is $9.99 for 0.34 ounces of product. The formula of this is exactly what the name says. This is a silky matte bronzer. It also has argan oil in it that helps hydrate the skin and extend the wear time. It's also supposed to have some anti-aging benefits in it as well. But I mean, it's going on top of other makeup, so, you know, take that for what you will. But I do feel like this lasts a long time on the skin. It performs very similarly to the Charlotte Tilbury. It's not, you know, in the beautiful packaging, and of course you get less product and there's no mirror. But this is a drugstore bronzer that I reach for frequently. I think it's fantastic. The formula, the shade that I have in particular, I absolutely do not think that you could go wrong with it. Back when Benefit Hoola bronzer was this huge thing, I didn't try it. I didn't try it for the longest time. I don't know why. I just had bronzers that I liked and I thought it probably wasn't any better than those bronzers, but I really do like it. It's got this great neutral undertone that will allow it to double as contour in a pinch if you need it to. I feel like the swatch isn't really reflecting how it can do that. But again, swatches don't always tell the whole story. Now I am speaking to the natural bronze shade, which is the original shade. That's what I have here. So this is $30 for 0.28 ounces, and there are 5 shades of this now, one of which has kind of a pearlescence to it. I know there are a lot of people that like the cardboard containers that Benefit products come in. I find them a little hard to store, but because the product is so good inside this Hoola bronzer, I just love it. And there are some other Benefit products that I really love that, you know, I'll keep using them even though they're in this hard to store container, and I do love it when they fall in a good palette that I really love. One is showing up in my upcoming monthly favorites and fails, which will go up this Sunday. So if you're not subscribed, be sure you subscribe so you don't miss that video or any of my others. I have a lot of products in this month's video, good and bad. This is another matte bronzer that's very finely milled. It's very easy to build. Even though it's matte, it doesn't look powder. It looks very natural, and I just really enjoy using this so much more than I thought I would. I mean, enough so that it ends up in my top bronzers video, and it's a top bronzer for so many people and has such good ratings for good reason. I kind of want to try the pearly luminescent one as well. I have not tried that one yet. This is the Physicians Formula Bronze Booster, which I've talked about many times on my channel. I know there are going to be people wondering why I'm not including the butter bronzer because everyone raves about it. I will address that here in a second, but first let's talk about the specifics of this. So this is $15.99, but I am seeing this also on Amazon for around $12.50. Again, I'll have all the links down below. You get 0.3 ounces of product. There are 2 shades. I have the medium to dark shade. I feel like this could genuinely be a high-end bronzer at a drugstore price. The quality is just stunning, and there is no scent. There are so many people that love that butter bronzer scent, but there are a lot of people that really don't. And while I love the butter bronzer, I think it's a great product, what I put in this video are the drugstore affordable bronzers and high-end bronzers that I reach for the most. And this wins out over the butter bronzer, even though I do like that product. I just am being very cutthroat in these top product videos, which is another reason why you might not see some products that I genuinely like. They just didn't make the cut for this video because these just edged them out. This is lightweight, it's buildable. It looks matte, but I feel like it doesn't give a matte finish on the skin. It just gives a nice healthy finish. Physicians Formula is supposed to be a great brand if you have sensitive skin. They include vitamins and moisturizers and antioxidants as well. I included this a while back in a video for I think it was drugstore products that were as good as high end, and I stand by that. I think this is a fantastic product. It has gotten hotter and hotter in here the longer this filming has gone on, so just bear with me if you're seeing sweat on my face. It's hot in here. Okay, so I feel like I'm starting to sound like a broken record with this bronzer because I just can't stop talking about it. If I was forced to choose one bronzer to have in my life, I believe this would be it. Now, don't tune out because I still have some good bronzers that I have in here for good reason. This is the Gucci bronzer. Let's just admire the packaging for a second. I mean, it is stunning, as it should be. There are 5 shades. I am in shade 3. This is $62, but you do get 0.42 ounces of product plus the really fancy packaging. This is a great tone for my light medium warm skin tone. I know I say swatches don't tell the whole story, but sometimes they do tell a lot. You can see how smooth this is just from the swatch. Now, if you're someone who wants a subtle radiance without any glimmer particles, you just want a glow with your bronze to just have that natural summer radiance, this is that bronzer. This picks up no excess product. You have no kick up to tap off your brush before you go into your face. The formulation is perfect. It just gives a healthy bronzed glow to the skin, which is what I like in the summertime. I mean, I like that anytime really, but it's just really great in the summer. This is one of those products that I held out on. I did not get this at first. I didn't think it could possibly be as good as everyone was saying. It is beautiful. And so if you're wanting that one product to splurge on and you're wondering, is it really that good? It is. Now, I will say it does have, you know, that kind of expensive scent that they put in pricey luxury products, but once it's applied to the face, I don't notice it. It has never aggravated my sensitive skin, ever. I love this so much, I can't see ever being without it. This next bronzer has been a favorite for me for a while because it's less than $5 and it's waterproof, which is perfect for the climate here in New Orleans. It's super hot, it's humid, plus our temporary living situation here, we just don't have a lot of insulation in this house. So especially right now, it just can get really hot while I'm filming. So this is a great bronzer to wear for those occasions. This is the Rimmel Natural Bronzer. It is 0.49 ounces. There are 4 shades. I'm in the shade 021 Sunlight. They say this has SPF 15. You're only putting it on portions of your face and you're dusting it on at that. So I don't even know why that's a thing for this bronzer. There's no kick up to this bronzer. It applies so smoothly. It's very sheer and buildable. They say it lasts up to 10 hours, but I've worn it for longer than that and it just looks beautiful. I mean, I've worn all of these for a really long time and they all last really nicely on the skin, but I feel like this is one that I wear when I want extra insurance if I'm gonna be outside or something in hot weather. It just is one that is kind of foolproof. You're getting a bargain. The packaging is not great. I can't really travel with this very well without taping it because, I mean, this is cracked. The lid does come off, but you know, it's something that can live at my makeup table and it's just a great product. I do have a runner-up in this video because it's not actually a bronzer. It's a powder that I love to use as a bronzer. But before I get into that, I want to address the elephant in the room. I have clearly not put cream bronzers in this video, and I do have some cream bronzer favorites. So I'm going to do a whole separate video just for cream products, which is going to include cream bronzers, contours, blushes, and highlighters. And I have some definite favorites that are going to be in that video. It's going to be a little bit difficult for me to narrow down products for that because I have been all about the cream products lately. So stay tuned for that. Again, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and become part of the family. And be sure to check your subscriptions area in YouTube each time you log in. That's really the only way to reliably see new videos as they come in from the creators that you follow. YouTube just does not give us reliable notifications anymore. So that's what I do to keep up with my favorite creators. It's just a habit now. Log into YouTube, hit subscriptions, and see what's new. So my runner-up bronzer, if you can call it that, is the By Terry Hyaluronic Tinted Hydra Powder. in the shade 600 Dark. There are 8 shades and a couple of them are dark enough to be bronzers on some people. I actually think I probably could have used shade 500. This is $60 and there are 0.35 ounces. You need a minuscule amount of product in the lid to just dip your brush around in it and then apply it to your face. So the reason why I wanted to include this is because it is, you know, a slightly different product. It's actually a powder, but because it's that airbrush powder. You know, it's created to make your pores blurred, your skin look airbrushed, and really give a perfected look to the skin, but still hydrate the skin. I find that it really does give just a second skin look, and I can use this on no makeup days, and it just gives such a beautiful look to the skin without having to add a lot of other products. So yes, I can use it with makeup. I can use it without a lot of other products, and it just works beautifully. I know so many of you love this as a setting powder, and I find that when diffusing this out as a bronzer, it just gives that same diffused, beautiful look to the skin. It really looks like a natural bronze glow. At first, I was just so surprised at how much I like using this as a bronzer. I've already been pulling it out more and more, and I will be pulling this out a lot this summer. There's something about the tone of this with my skin that just really works well mid-summer. It just gives that bronzy, glowy look, you know, that just looks like you came in from the beach. So I had to include this as a runner-up. I just did a huge affordable drugstore haul. If you have not seen that video, I'll have it linked here for you. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not, and become part of the family. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.